welcome back to the Spirit of Watercolor with Linda. And I'm so happy to have started this new part of our spiritual journey of watercolor. Not only are we doing demonstrations, tips, and tricks, and I've done inspirational videos in the past, but this one is the second of an artist quote. These are quotes from famous artists, or maybe they're not going to all be famous artists, maybe, but right now that's what I'm looking at, and right now I'm intrigued with, there's many quotes by Pablo Picasso, and he's one that we all know. His art was, very much more realistic at the beginning, but became much more into the cubism, and the influence of African art also became more playful, more simple figures and shapes, so, I find that he's always been one that I've been interested in, what motivated him, and you can tell from his quotes where he was coming from with his art. And anyway, it helps us too, because the quotes that I'm finding from him are right on for me as far as what art is about and what it should be about, and not some of the work we place on ourselves, the fact that we make it more difficult or more daunting than it has to be. Okay, and so but this quote today is one just about how challenging art can be, and sometimes we're ready to put down the paintbrush and say this is just too much, that kind of thing. And I have days like that too, we all do. So here's a quote by Picasso, which I will read to you. And I wrote it down. I've got a little book here that I'm just going to write the quotes in, and I'll write inspirational artist quotes or something on the cover, and when I find one that is striking to me or to my heart, I will share it with you from time to time. Okay, and this one said, and it's really simple, and I like these simple sayings because I can remember them. They really stick with me. And this one is simply this. He says, I am always doing that which I cannot do in order that I may learn how to do it. Isn't that nice and simple? Yeah, sometimes we can't do things, and they're hard to do. And of course, some of the demonstrations and things that I have showed you in earlier videos are like that. Very hard. I struggled with the beginning of my watercolor class when I first started. I was ready to drop it. And then, my professor said, get a book, a watercolor pad, and just fill it, page after page, this side and that side, both sides, and practice this technique for, these many pages, and this technique for these many pages. And by the time you get through 5 or 6 pages of frustration, you were getting the technique, right? So, but, also having fun, because he gave us some fun assignments, do dab and drag and just do 1,000 trees, So, and after a while you're like, oh, this is silly. But after a while you're like, hey, looks like 1,000 trees, And so you get there, and then you can do it. And that's what Picasso was saying. And I really appreciate that. And so I wanted to share that with you today. Thank you for joining me, and let's get back to that daffodil painting I'm trying to finish on tape for you, and I'll post this, and then we'll have that edited by the end of the week and up for you to enjoy, and hopefully you'll get into your spring flowers in your garden that might be popping up right now too. If you don't have flowers in your garden, walk down the street, take your camera with you and check out your neighbors, or if you're into trees or shrubs or birds, get some photographs and get some motivation, inspiration. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the table.